Hey, what is going on again, guys? Live round 2 for tonight, part 3 of the build. And today we're going to be doing the D-bag. Shocks. Appropriately, the D-bag. So, we're going to get you guys in here, maybe a little bit closer. And, yeah, let's see what we got here. Let me go to this camera for a second and get you guys down a little bit closer in here. Since we're going to be working in this area pretty much primarily, I think we can zoom in. This is good content right here. Oh, yeah. Shaky. There we go. Live stream number 2. Earl made it. How's it going, man? All right, I'm going to start up my video here, and then we'll get into the build. You guys get the behind the scenes here. Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another CCxRC SMT10 raw scale builders kit from Axial. It's the SMT10. Today, we're going to be working on the D-bag. Doing the shocks. My least favorite part of any build is the shocks. And I struggle with it every time I do it. It's just not my thing. But here's our directions. And right away I'm seeing that they don't tell us. They show a taper and some different stuff on this picture, but not over here. So we got to figure out why that is. But I think it's pretty obvious when we actually look at it. So we'll go from there. But it looks like we'll probably be doing the tapered side where these things all rest on here. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll get into it. We'll get the build going, and we'll find out exactly where everything goes. What's going on, Chuck Hall? So you just watched the Max videos, yeah? That Max sure does rip it up. It is one tough truck. All right, it does come with 30 weight shock oil. You know what? We're going to have to bring this. How am I going to do this? I need to bring this out more, but it won't expand. I guess we'll just tilt up. I keep showing everything to the camera, and it's out of this shot. We'll try that and see if that works. They keep coming here to be in the camera, and you guys don't get to see it. So we'll give that a go. So 30 weight shock oil. We got our springs. They come in 2 different types of hardness. So these ones are marked yellow. So they're going to be a little bit different stiffness. And I usually do the opposite of what they recommend. They have ones that they do for, these are definitely the thinner springs. They don't have as much tension to them. So I flip it from what they say should be the rear spring, which is the yellow. I put that in the front, and I do the softer. No, rear spring is red. So these are the softer ones, the rear, and I end up putting these rear ones, the red ones in the front, and I do the stiffer ones in the rear. That's just how I do it. People can disagree with me all they want. That's fine. It's just how I do it. Go ahead and open up all the bags. See what's going on over there. Texas RC Motorsports says he's building a mega truck with his metal cases. Yeah. Sounds pretty good. All right. Yeah, it's going to be pretty obvious. So, I got this CCxRC mat, magnetic mat. I'm just going to drop all these right down onto here. They'll all stick, which is good. kind of a pain in the rear to get them up later. Let's show you here first. You can see here that they've got this little tapered part that's not threaded on this end. And on this side, it's threaded the whole way. Now, this should be, is my guess. It doesn't show in the manual very well. But my guess is that this side is going to be what goes into the end, the shock end. And this will be inside the shock, holding all of these different pieces. That's my guess. Axiomatic is shocked. Of course he's shocked. All right, so we need pieces. What other bag do we need? Plastic bag 2 we need. We have not opened plastic bag 2 yet. That is bag 3. Here is plastic bag 2. And this is going to have our shock pieces on it as well. Shock caps. It's like everything we need here for shocks. So this is good. Drive shafts. We don't need those. You're going to need these and these. And these look like our pistons. More. So we'll go with what we've got out there for now, and we'll see what we need. Welcome back, guys. Green Frog, yeah, work on the D-bag. So let's see what we got here. Got to do a few assembly things for these first. Work on getting all those pieces. 8035. This. So we're going to take these. And it's going to be so hard to do. There's so many pieces. And they get threaded right onto here. I don't usually put them on very far, so we'll stop right about there. So we're going to go ahead and do that on all of them. So there's 2 of these 8035 pieces. 80035, sorry. Extra numbers. Oh, man. RC Makes channel got his SMT10 kit today. Awesome, man. Congratulations on that. Axio Green Frog. All right, so we have those. Then we're going to need some of these pieces in here. I have to just go ahead and open up everything and then wonder what I miss as I go. That's always the fun part. Nice and clear, so I'll definitely lose these. Make sure they're all out of the bag. All right, shocks. Look at our bladder caps here. Just kind of arrange some things. All right. 8033 number 2. 80033 number 2 just has 2 holes in it. Doesn't look right though. It's 800332. All right, you guys seeing this? So using the same number for this one here, which has a recessed part, 80033, and that's number 2 on it. And then they're also using it over here, which has the 2. That's the piston, but this is number the exact same. It actually looks more like 80035 number 2. And number 5. So this is 80033. The number 5 on this is here, and it doesn't look like that. These are wrong. So looking at this, it says number 800335 and number 2. If you look at this, this looks more like the right pieces, and it's on 80035. So you got these right here. If you look at this one, what number 5 is, it doesn't look at all like what we need. There's the 5 right there with all the holes, and that does not look at all like what they're asking for from the 80033. So it looks like they've labeled this wrong. If this is actually 80033 number 5, looks like another piston style piece. But number 5 is supposed to look like this one. So I'm going to just go on a whim and say it's wrong. One of the rubber washers go between it, but that's why it should be recessed like this one is on the number 33. So I'm going to say that. I'm going to say this number 5 off of the 33 because it looks like what's in the book. They just have it labeled wrong. In my humble opinion. So it looks like we have one of these bigger rings go in first. Then you have this, which is off of 833. Then you have a smaller one inside. Then you have this number 5 piece that I just cut. Then you have another one of these washers, or not washers, but these silicone rings. And then you have this plate off of number 0035. Like so. Yep, that's right. So it is wrong. Anyway, that's that piece. Then we're going to take our rod here. It's going to get this number 2 piece that we took off that has the 2 holes in it, the little piston. Go like this. so. That sits right on there. That's why we thought that that was going to be the recessed side we're doing. And then we're going to put one more. Put these on. And then the nut. Actually, no. AXA100. So this is the washer. My bad. Use my knife to get it up. I'm just going to go ahead and build one of these, make sure I get it right. And then we'll go back and do the instructions on how to do it. Because these instructions don't seem right to me. They give you different piston options. All right, so take a little piece of this paper. Use that to tighten down and not put any marks on our paper here. There we go. So what are you guys going on to? Shocking shock jokes. So John Holmes likes the Wendigo. That's cool. That's good source to get info from. This thing is slipping. Not tightening down at all. Now we got it. There it is. All right. So that'll push down through and pull on. It feels pretty good. And we take this piece that we just built over here. Screw that together. All right, looks pretty good to me. So we need to take these little bumpers that they give us here, the rubber bumpers. It's going to slide on here. And then 80034 has our ends on it right here. We'll thread on here. So what do you guys think about making shocks? Do you hate them as much as I do? Oops. Gonna need that piece that just rolled on the table. Rip Raps, no, you didn't miss much, man. Just kind of saying how the instruction manual has the parts labeled wrong. John Holmes used to live a few blocks from you. That's pretty cool. Rubber baby buggy bumpers. So what I like to do here is clamp this like so. And then I usually just take one of my wrenches and I'll just run it through here and just spin it on like so. That's how I normally try and do this. Make sure I've got the notch here. But I don't want to score this. That's why I use the paper towel, so I'm not putting any teeth marks into the shock. You can use a little wrench. I just always have needle nose pliers around, so habit of just using them. Anybody else in the chat have the same problem? They're just so readily available. All right, the bumper's on there. I need shock players. I sure do. I was looking at them the other day, but I hate building them so much that I usually don't. I usually don't build them. All right. So then what we'll do is we'll eventually put this cap in here, and then we'll put the top on. You know what the hey, why don't we just see if it holds oil? Make sure I'm not leaking it everywhere before I keep going. Oh yeah. Feels good. Don't have much light. That's why I don't have much light. Whoa. See how many air bubbles I have under there? I know some people are really particular about their shocks. I try and get most of the air bubbles out. I don't let them sit now. I used to. I don't really notice the difference that much. So you guys are probably going to throw a fit about how I did this. That feels pretty good. Go in. Oh, we are leaking like a sieve out the bottom. I didn't do something right with that ring in there. Yeah, all the pressure is just pushing it right at the bottom. I don't have any way to save this oil is the problem. So I'm going to trash it and try again. Yeah, order up some Pro lines. I know, right? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try building one the way that I think it should be. And then I haven't ever rebuilt these shocks. But it seems weird that this doesn't really seal. Let's stop this for now. I don't need to record me messing up. This doesn't really seal the way that they have it shown here. This last ring going in kind of feels like it should actually be over this thing and actually slide right over the top of it. Based on the way it looks like it would have this spot down here at the bottom that it would sit down in to cinch it kind of up against the inside of here. Am I wrong or am I right? They show it stacking all these pieces, and then at the very end is that just sitting on the top. Maybe I just need to tighten it more. Maybe that's what I need to do. Get my pliers on here. That might have been my problem. Still leaking out. Quite a bit leaking out. All right, so let's see here. Let's try again. Grab all the pieces. So bottom, and then we have one of these. Goes in there first. Then number 5 off of the wrong one, which was 3-3 here. Go ahead and shave this off. Really use a file. Clean these up a bit more. This goes in next, like so. Then another one of these rubber washers. Then it says this piece goes on. But what it feels like it should do is actually cap on. Maybe that's what I did wrong. Feels like it should slide onto here more. Just based on the way that the shape of this is. Or even all the way down. It feels to me like it should look like that. See how I just ran that all the way down there? That's what it feels like it should be to seal against this container, but they don't really show it like that in the manual, which also has it listed as the wrong number. But that seems like it should seal that up. Are you guys with me? But if you look at the manual, it just shows it stacking on top like so. It doesn't actually show it riding up over here. And it doesn't tell you to make sure that you put the washer all the way down on. So RC Mig's channel, yeah, that's correct. I don't know why the directions aren't better about showing it that way. So I'm going to build this one, pour the other shock oil into this one, and I should be good. But I don't know, that kind of stuff's just frustrating about these manuals. It's almost like nobody ever put it together using the manual before it was shipped out. Also feel like I'm going to run out of pieces. I am. Not griping, just it would be really hard for somebody I mean, I've seen other shocks that pull these apart, and so that's why it just makes sense that it would be that way. But I was just trying to follow the directions and thinking it would slip itself on, but it doesn't. So now that we got that set up right, this shock should work much better. Kind of the figuring it out game here. The directions are kind of just a helper. I know I wouldn't want to be the person to have to proof them all. There we go. Got a little rubber stop on. Number 8. All right, what do we got going on over there? Axial, Brandon. So you guys are saying that I did it the right way. It just seemed wrong when I was doing it the first time, following the directions. Most of the times I'm doing ready to run, so the shocks are already built, and I'm just taking them apart and rebuilding them by what they look like. And I always leave one of them assembled so that I can always use it as a reference. But this time I'm just trying to follow the directions, do it kit-wise. The other kits I've done have had like friction shocks, like Tamiya's. That's better. So I'm just filling it like halfway and then trying to work the air out of it. Yeah, Axio, man, your neighbor's track is awesome. I didn't listen to myself. I was going to use the other shock to fill this one. Shoot. Usually they give you more than you need, so I can lose some of it. It won't be a huge deal. Oh. Speaking of losing some of it, overfilled that. Still got quite a bit of air in there. Getting about 9 feet on the big jump. Wow. Yeah, that'll kill some RCs. Got like 3 feet of air that time. All right. There are currently way too many air bubbles for me to be happy with. Closing this one up at this point. Gotta let it work itself out. Wish I don't have my stand up here right now. I didn't think through it all. Yeah, man, get on editing that stuff. We want to see it. Axiomatic's got some really cool rigs. and a cool racetrack next door. Ooh, way too much. Oh, there's already one in this cap. That's why I didn't get a new cap. That one had a bladder in it already. Hence why it freaked out. That's rebounding too fast. Trying to drain off just the littlest bit. That'll be all right. That'll do. I'll work it a little bit more before I put it on. Main thing is it's not leaking, but it is pushing out more than I'd like. Try to release it. Just take out a little bit more of it. Chuck Hall can rebuild these axials blindfolded. All right. Actually, gonna find a spot I can let this sit for a minute. Here we go. Put it in that box. That'll allow it to do its thing. This is going to be tough because it's really slick. All right. So this, we're going to build the right way this time. I did not follow directions properly. I'll take the blame. So the directions weren't that great. Yeah, I was looking at the shock tools. They're pretty nice. But again, I try my best to not do shocks. A lot of times what I do, like I did with my Primal, is I just bought new ones. I bent the shock shaft, so I just went and bought new shocks instead of the shafts. I did buy the shafts thinking maybe I'll get around to swapping out the shafts, but not very likely. I'm also sitting on one of the most uncomfortable stools in the world, a wooden stool, so this is fantastic. The one time that I don't like the magnetic mats is when you got to get washers off. It can be a little bit of a pain. Just a little bit. You can get them. Just takes some extra work. Now everything's got a nice silicone slick surface to it. That's wonderful. What's up, Tank? That's tight. Now that we have it sealed right, that should hold better. Just have to get that ring on right. All right, now we're good. Building shocks is fun. I agree, Tank. I don't agree. I'm lying. All right, we're gonna let this one sit. All right, I think we've got it figured out though. Now for the front shocks, we're using 6. For 8. 80034. That's 5. These are 3s. There's 4. Using number 8s. Actually, we go record this one this time. Alrighty, so building the shocks. I found a few things in here that aren't explained very well. First of all, the shaft here that it's showing you, one side is threaded all the way and the other is not all the way. And that's where you're going to be putting these pieces that it shows here, like the piston and O-rings, and so that's right over here on this focus. So that's right over here on this side. You have your O-ring and piston are going to go on that little piece that's not threaded. This side is where you're going to be putting the end of your shock, the ball end. So yeah, so that's one thing I figured out. The other thing is that this ring right here, this O-ring, has to slide all the way down to the bottom of this. It doesn't show it. It looks like it's all stacked. That literally sits at the very bottom in order to seal it when you do screw it all together. So we'll show you how that works here as we go along. So let's do this. We're going to get the pieces that we need. The other thing is that it labels the part tree wrong. So you'll just want to follow along to do this right. So off of 80035, looks like we've already taken off all the pieces. We're going to be taking off this piece right here off of 80035, and this is the threaded end of the shock, the bottom. So that's off of 80035. That's part number 1. Then you're going to be taking the O-ring, and you're going to put it down inside, like so. So you're going to take the O-ring, you're going to put it down inside, like so. Now here's where the directions are wrong again. They say it's part tree 80033, but it is still off of 35. This number 5 piece right here, and these number 2 pieces are going to be what goes into these. So we're going to take these off, and then we're going to clean them up. Just by using our X-Acto knife or a file, whatever you've got, clean it up. And I did one of these wrong already before I wanted to make sure I knew how I was doing them before I showed you how to do them. So we got one of them wrong, just following the directions as they are in the manual, and now we have it figured out how to do it. So, cool. Now this piece, you're going to take this little spacer, the black spacer, and it is just going to go right on top of that O-ring. You're going to push it in there. So you'll put another O-ring on top, and that'll get pushed down in there like that. So then the next thing that you want is this top piece that we just did, and it came off of part tree 80035, and you want the open side or the indented side of it to go down and sit right on top of there. So it basically closes it right up. Now, here's where this larger O-ring goes. You're going to have to just kind of pull it all the way across and slide it right down to the base of it like that. So that is not clear in the directions. And then what you'll do is you'll screw this right into the bottom there of the housing. All right. So you screw these pieces on. These are labeled in there off of part tree 80034. They're pretty obvious. And this thing will not focus. All right, so the top piece here of the shocks are pretty obvious how that they work off of part tree 80034. It's kind of grooved, and that's going to retain your spring from the top and allow you to adjust it by screwing it on like so. We'll leave enough room to screw our top on, and we'll be good. We're going to go ahead and now and build out the actual shock shaft, which is right here. So we're going to take one of the little washers that came in the packet. We're going to need 2 of them in the end, but we're going to take one of them and just slide it on there. Then we're going to take our piston, which needs to be cleaned up. Want that to run smoothly in there. And our piston is going to sit right on top of that. And I'm going to take one more of the washers and cap it like so. So you've got the washer, piston, washer, and then you're going to take one of the locking nuts and put it on the top. Get myself some flush cutters. I know. I don't usually build kits, though. Now, I just wrap this with cloth and it's grooved to kind of grip onto. This isn't the ideal way. It's just how I'm doing it. And we're going to use our little wrench that comes with the kit and just tighten this on. There it is. And so this is just going to then slide right down. So then the shaft is going to go right down through the shock body, come out the other end here. And then we're going to put on the end of the shock. But first you need to put on this little rubber bump stop. It's kind of tapered. Make the tapered side go up like so. All right, and then we'll go ahead and add its number 8 on part tree 80034 right here. So in the middle, I'm going to take one of these off, clean it up, and put it on the bottom. I use the same method I used to tighten the top down. I'm going to use for this. So we'll go ahead and get this just started by hand. And I like to grab it with the needle nose pliers. Now, granted, this part's not going to go up in the shock. You could groove it a little bit if you wanted because that bump stop's going to sit on it. I'm still going to kind of grip it lightly, but I'm just going to take a wrench and put it through in order to help me get this on faster. Like so. Then after this, what we got to do is fill it. Put the bleeder, not the bleeder cap, but the top cap in it and screw the top on. It's not that simplistic, but that's the basic idea. So it does come with 30 weight oil. It's really stiff right now, but I go ahead and just fill it about halfway. And there's all different kinds of ways. Everybody's got their methods for doing this. Some people are more perfectionist about it than others. And so you just kind of slowly work it up and down. You're trying to get it underneath the piston, get the air out from under the bottom. Just doing it slowly. Just kind of work it. There's a lot of air bubbles that'll start coming up out of there. And you got to allow them time to kind of work their way up to the surface. And just slowly move it. Getting all the air bubbles out. And part of what you have to do is you do have to let it sit. You're going to work some of these bubbles up, but they're slow moving. They're very small inside of here. And you'll see them. You can't really see them, pick them up on camera too well, especially with the focusing issues. But if you let it sit, they will work their way up to the top. And so I'm going to go back to about halfway up, and I'm going to fill it to right about where this, if I were to put this little ball top in here, it's kind of a half ball. It'll sit right in there. Maybe push a little bit of oil out. It's okay. I need about a drop or two more. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this sit now in a box or whatever you've got. I've just got a box that I'm sitting them in. And I just dropped one of them. Haha, nice. And I'm just letting the air rise up to the top, the air bubbles, and come out. So one of these has been sitting in here for a while. It's probably ready. I'll go ahead and just move to that one, and we'll kind of put the top on it. Call it good. Looks nice and clean. No air bubbles anymore. Super smooth feeling. Not seeing any new bubbles being created. So I'm going to go ahead and take this top, put it on here, kind of about halfway, and grab one of these tops. This one has a bleeder in it already. Not a bleeder, but it's got the rubber ball top in it. So I'll just take off a new one. So these are on the part tree. It's just not cleaned up yet. That almost got me. Always cut away from yourself. There it is. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and put the cap on here. And sometimes you'll get a little bit that'll spill out as you do tighten it down. And then the trick is that when I push in, I just want to push back a little bit and slowly. That feels pretty good to me. It'll kind of rebound slowly back out. I think that's all right. This shock is done. So now you've got two different tensions here. Red is what they say is for the rear. I usually put it in the front. It's up to you, but you can put it on whichever side that you would like. And the other thing that you need is this little bottom retainer here on this part tree. And then we'll get our little, whoops, you got to make sure that the bump stop is above it and slide it on. Whoops, I dropped it. Slide this retainer on, this shock retainer onto the shock like so. And your spring will hold it in place, kind of. I say kind of because it doesn't always. What I like to do is I actually take a small zip tie and I'll run it through this shock retainer and then around the shock itself. That way, if this pops off for whatever reason, it'll stay on the shock. Because I run mine really loose, as you can see they are now. And so the ability for it to, I don't have a lot of preload on mine. So the shocks just kind of flop off of here and these tend to pop off. So I just usually zip tie it on there. If I have any here. Let me see. Oh, that was the SMT10 box. Here we go. Since this is going to be a fire truck, Megalodon Fire or whatever, I'll just use some of these red ones, like so. And what I do is I would just take it through one of these, just keeping the very bottom of the shock, and hold it on like that. That's it. And then when the spring wants to come off, it keeps that with it. Just a simple cheat to keep the to not lose those retainers because they tend to disappear. Actually, I was saying he started using a bit of shoe goo. So basically, we're going to repeat that for 4 of these. But before we do, we need to finish off by adding in last balls here. 80033 is where it says it's going to be. Right here. Number 1. So these are the number 1s up here at the top. So you got 4 of them. All right, so we've got several of these for the different shocks. They'll just pop in like so. Looks like the bottom one comes off of another piece that we've used previously. We'll have to find that. 80018. Oh, just knocked over my shocks. I swear I kept a baggie of the parts that I was using before, right? Keep knocking over these shocks. A new spot to put them. All right. Oh, here it is. So this is the last part of the tree that we're going to use, and these will go in the bottom of the shocks. All right. So there you go. Just clicks right into place. All right, so there we go. These just click right into place, and these ones kind of just sit in there. They don't really hold in until you screw them in place. So keep an eye on those. I maybe 1 hour per shock. Yeah, we get it wrapped up here now. Now that we got it figured out. Yeah, that's good. Not too bad. I tell you guys, I hate shocks. I hate shocks. But there's worse things in life. What is this? This is the other red one. Cool. It's the right. One of these I put the wrong bottom on too. Gotta just pay attention to that. All right. The shock masters are watching and cringing. I don't mind the links. But shocks. Oof. All right. Number 2, done. Number 3. Seems like a proper amount of oil. Now I should have a shock cap ready that I'm not seeing. Here it is. Might have a little bit much. A little too much in this one. Let's see if it pushes out. Not too bad. Yeah, it won't compress all the way. Tornado warning in Dominic's area. Be safe, man. That's for sure. Current favorite basher, DHK Maximus. Nice. Now we're better. That's still a little much. Tornado warning till 12:30. Wow. Now that's it. Perfect. I like that rebound on that one. Nice and slow. Perfect. This was the one we started with. This was my first problem one. Now it's nice. So, put on the bottom of it. Spring. So what is your guys' least favorite part of building? Do you have a least favorite part? Are you one of those eternal optimists about building? Huge thank you. The super chat. I go back. CCxRC. Thank you, man. Yeah, nitro's a whole nother level. I know nothing about it. Yeah, there we go. Much stiffer with this spring on it. So I do need to finish out the bottoms of these though. That went off the table. Cool. Hit the floor on the other side. Don't know where that one went. Cool. I saw at least where one of them flew to. Looks like one of them here. Yep. All right. So this one actually is the one that has the wrong length end on it. It could come back to haunt me later when I'm looking for it and it's not on that tree. So I put it on the wrong one already and taken it off. Riffraffs in West Virginia on the Ohio River. Oh, nice. Being in Virginia, we travel that way a lot, especially when we're heading over to Kentucky. Or up through to Michigan, depending on the route we take. Riffraff doesn't know exactly zip about nitro. You and me both. I refuse to even try it. I get too frustrated by things that I don't know, can't figure out, and I know that would have me just bonkers. There we go. And last one. Last one. This is started out real slow, guys. I'm not gonna lie, really frustrated by it at first. Trying to figure out what the directions or want me to do. I should have just opened up one of my old ones and looked at it before I even started. That would have made me feel a whole lot better about it. But these parts being mislabeled is kind of tricky. Don't get me wrong, I like axial stuff, And I know a lot of, it's not just them that have manuals that don't have everything right. I know I'll probably run into it again with the SCX10 3 build. So I need to find the last base one. We dropped a piece at some point. Here's those. That's what we need. These, all I need is the bottom part of the shock that screws in. Where's that? Screws into the bottom here. It's in part number 80035. So this 80035 is toast. And this 80035 is pretty much toast. So I've already taken it off. Where could it be? See another piece I sent flying. See, I told you I hit that thing all the time. All right, so here's one piece I was missing. Part trees are dead. This is no bueno. Well, that might be all I got, guys. I have no idea where that piece is. Unless it's on a tree I didn't get out. That's another one of those trees. Here it is, in this bag. It's just freely in there. Weird. All right. Now we've got this down. Know where everything goes. Push it all together real quick. Got it. Got it mastered. Everyone's saying about where they are. That's cool. You guys know where each other are? Awesome. Pass together. Take this one. Last thing we need is the piston. Here it is. I hate C-clips, E-clips, all of it. All right. This one's going together way faster. I call them C-clips too. Everyone always tells me they're E-clips. Like the gum? All right, so go ahead and just get these few last pieces on here before I put any oil in. This part is one of my least favorite. I guess that is the one part about making links that is awful. That's why those Vanquish ones are nice. None of this. Once you get it started, it's not a big deal. Getting it started can be a pain. I'm glad you guys call it C-clips too. Makes me feel better about it, calling it that. I'm in good company. Let's just say that. Too far. That'll add to the time. Yeah, my dad always called them C-clips. That's where I got it from. A Zlander RC. Oh, I put too much. Good. See if that'll work. Kind of rushed it a little bit. Pretty fast coming out. Let some more of this air just kind of rise out of it. So go to the comments. Very old ESC took a poop. Oh no. That ain't no good. What car was it? Or what ESC? I don't remember if I did a good talking part about the shocks or not. This time I kind of just feel done though. Just want to be done. Am I going to get a kaiju? I don't know. I like the look of it. It tempts me. Let's just say that. But I don't. Right now, I've just got so many RCs that I don't know that I'm going to. And I've got enough bashers. There's already really great people doing reviews on it, so I felt like it was being neglected for some reason. I might, but there's lots of great reviews on it, especially if John Holmes has done one. I know RC Guy Garage did one. They do look pretty awesome. It's more tempting, I think, than the Wendigo. Just a bit too much. Now we're talking. Yeah. Good. You guys think, does that look pretty good to you? Just push it in. It's just going to slowly push itself back out. Just a littlest bit. That feels pretty good to me. Chewing through camera batteries. I have a plug that goes into the battery door. I should just do that. I don't know why I don't. All right, where are we at? All right, guys, we just finished up the last of the shocks. And you can see what I was looking for with this. When I push it in, I just want to get the slightest slow rebound coming back out, just like that. If it comes out too fast, I usually will just kind of tap out just a drop or two more of oil until I get it nice and slow, just like that. I don't want it helping. The spring's already going to send it back fast enough. I don't need there to be any pressure inside the shock that's also making it really want to rebound back. So that's kind of where we want to be. It feels really good to me. The last things that we do need to do is we do have to put in this little end piece here, this ball, and then up in the top as well. And these are found on this little kit right here, 80018, and those will go into the bottom. And then there were larger ones on number 033 that go in the top right here. We'll break one of these off, and that'll go in the top. So the next part that we're going to do is we're going to look at the manual here, and it tells us that the yellow are for the front and the red are for the rear. I do have to put this last spring on, which is right here. I'm going to go through this process one last time. This is a yellow one. You can see right on the top here where it's yellow. I'm going to put it to the top so I can easily see it here. Probably less likely to get damaged. Take our last little retainer. Make sure you bring the bump stop here up. Slide this on like so. And if you push it all the way in, it'll push it back down. So again, the last thing that I like to do with these is I like to put just this little piece of zip tie through here. They've got holes, and I tend to lose these springs a lot. They just pop off too easy. So you can see they're sliding off right now. What I'm going to do is we're going to slide this in backwards. There it goes. And I'm just going to zip tie it, and that'll make sure we don't lose that little retainer on the bottom. We'll stay with that spring. So now they're all done that way. So this part, what we're going to need to do is we're going to grab our axles. I'll start with the front. And so what I'm going to do is the rear ones are the red. I like to put those up in the front. So I'm going to go to this farthest point on the axle, I believe, is where I'm going to want to be. We've got our screw kit here. We got to open it up. We'll be able to put this all together. So it's just going to slide into place. Push our screw right through it. Comes out the other side. And mine are not long enough because of these ones. So I need for me, I'm going to need longer ones. That'll make it all the way through. These will work for you. Mine are a little wider, so need just a little bit longer screw. This one looks like a D. And that's one of the things that you just have to realize if you do change things out like I did. I made some changes, which means that I'm going to have to change how I assemble it a little bit. So, but still the basic idea and principle is the same for using the stock ones or the aftermarket. Still the same basic idea, just going to be slight differences based on the shape and size. So we're just going to kind of put this on like so. Could thread lock that if you don't hit that nylon, but I did, so I'm going to be all right. So that one's ready. And then I'm going to just make sure this one is red on the top. So I'm going to make sure I do have the other red spring, which is right here. And that one's going to go on this side. That's simple. Just push it on through. Going to do this front and rear, and then we'll be done with the shock part for now. Now you will have already put spacers in here that are just to help support it. Mine don't have it because they're metal. So that's why you don't see any other nuts sticking out of mine. If you haven't been following the whole build, these are Vanquish. And they cost a small mint. There we go. So those are my fronts. If I want to change it later, I can change the springs pretty easily. I want the stiffer in the rear because when I'm accelerating back, I want it to not sit down so much. You may want it to sit down. I don't. So I get way too many wheelies going on. Maybe that's why I get wheelies, is that I have the stiffer one and it does push back instead of sit down. Nowadays, I just tune it out my ESC little throttle curve on there. Yeah, the hot racing ones are all right. SSD I've seen. I've had SSD ones before on Sticker Bomb Original. And I think Jeremy runs those now. And then I've got Vanquish on 2 of them, and I just absolutely love how these ones work. So I'll kind of come back to them after I've tried other ones. I know they cost more, but I just like how they work. Who makes the best axles for the SMT? Probably some would say Vanquish. You can do Freestyle RC ones, which are just amazing axles. You just have to you have to adapt the rear. It basically the size of the drive shaft input is larger on the axle than on the transmission of the SMT10. So you just have to have a way to adapt that. That's all. All right, so that is it, guys. We've got our shocks mounted front and rear. Next thing we've got to do is the transmission. But for now, we're going to end right here, guys. So the shocks can be a bit much. I don't like doing shocks. You kind of just got to get through it. If I didn't have that misstep on the first one, it wouldn't have been as bad, because once I got going, it was pretty all right. But that first little hang up trying to figure out how they worked, hopefully this video will help you out and keep you from having to go through what I went through trying to figure out how they actually worked. So, but anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. As always, have fun RCing, and we will catch you in the next video when we open up Bag E and we hit up that transmission. So be safe, guys. Have fun RCing. Catch you next time. Vanquish does mainly crawlers, and these are actually for the Yeti. So they are Yeti trailing arms, which are the same as the SMT10. And I think I actually found them. They might be listed under SMT10 on the Vanquish page. I don't remember. But they're awesome. They don't have any of the ball ends on them. So the way that they do it is just really unique in locking that little ball inside there. Can't remember what it's called again. So bad with names. You guys told me last night, 2 nights ago. Already blanking on what those are called. There's too many silly little names for every little thing. Can't keep up with it all. Part 4 transmission will be coming soon. Yeah, transmission's not too bad. It's just really greasy, messy. Then you straight up mount your motor. My motor probably means I'm going to have to do some soldering. Slipper clutch. I mean, it can take some time to actually assemble it all. Probably going to be looking at an hour. I got a couple more hours left of building. It's moving along, though. I'm going to lose these parts of the shocks, though, these top pieces. I need to, like, tape them in. Just gaff tape. Here. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Piece of gaff tape on here. Oh man, it's so much. It's the silicone. It's not really wanting to stick. All right, so luckily there's an extra set here because I lost one of them already. Cool, cool, cool. But I have so many of these kits too. I mean, you guys can't even imagine how many spare parts I have for these downstairs. I have a bunch. It's really weird talking to yourself. I know I'm not talking to myself, but I just mean in the room. T-Rex tape on the bodies before running them. That works great. Yeah, I use a lot of Gorilla tape. This gaff tape is really for filmmaking. It's not super sticky. So you can put it on floors and stuff and mark floors. So you can, like, we call it pegging your tripod and that, so you know exactly where it goes. But it won't leave any residue on their floors. It's like a fabric. It's really great stuff. It's just expensive. Actually, Mac, I always talk to myself. I only worry when I hear a response. Yeah. Yeah, I worry if I hear a response, it's my wife being like, shut up. Not really. She would never tell me to shut up, but she'd be like, why are you being so loud out here? Why is the tools, the drilling and the hammering? So usually when I do, like, I accidentally fire up a brushless thing or something, that's when it's more the pitch of it, I think. Yeah, I still have quite a bit of shock oil left in this. That's good. Thank you guys for tuning in. On along again, 12:30, another late night. It's actually early still. 28 people watching. Watching me build shocks. Get myself confused. I found that tool. It was in the trash. When I cleaned up, I apparently threw away some bags and it was sitting on them or something. But I'd gone through it and I found it. So you guys are off the hook. I will be more careful next time. I'm throwing away the paper towels. All right, let's lay this back out. Should have probably done my logo in a different color. Really jacks up what you can see on here. Makes it a little bit difficult. I have an idea. Oh, I already lost my tape. Back on this shock. The tattoo is a My Little Pony. Show us your tattoo, Tony. Which one? This one? I can't tell which way to go. Big koi fish. Jumping out of water. Up to like a swirly cloud. In there. Yep. Koi. Guy did super detailed shading on it. This is a great to hear that. Oh, that'd be funny. My wife would kill me. This one I got in Nepal. It says Love Wins. It's got freedom birds on it. We're doing like anti-trafficking stuff. So these are old ones. Older ones. My phone go. I just need to take a picture of this for the thumbnail or something. There we go. There's a mom tattoo. Kind of looks like it. Sacred Heart. Cool. Cool. Axial, yeah. He's got all of his face tattoos. Yeah, some of it got a little sketchy, like when I was traveling for a lot of work stuff, and the one has a cross on it. Don't necessarily want to be caught certain places with that on your sleeve. All right. This. I break down all the camera gear. I'm always worried my cat's gonna knock it over. He's a mischievous one, that cat. Thanks for the gun show. Yeah. Don't usually see him. Don't usually have him out. Face tattoo thing, man. That's like something new. One rapper guy has them all over. Circles. This song, right? Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I think wrap it up here. Unless anybody has any questions or any thoughts on what I should do next. I got to do the transmission for sure. Did I missed anything? It's feeling substantial already. Extra metal down low. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in to another live broadcast here, doing the build, live building. Much more nerve-wracking than doing the edited version where you just keep fixing all your mistakes in editing. You guys see all the mistakes. No getting around it. So, yeah, I'm feeling good about it, and everything's nice and clean. These Vanquish lower links or trailing arms, whatever you want to call them, are really stout. They just feel amazing, and it adds some extra heft to these lower part of the truck, which would be nice, as well as having the tubes inside the axles. Even though these are only aluminum, it does add some heft to it, which is nice. Anyway, guys, have a good night, and we will catch you. What is tonight? Tonight's Tuesday night, so I think Tank is going to be tomorrow night, then Thursday night. For sure is Tank. Friday night is Steve O.D., and there's a whole bunch of other guys that are in there as well. I know True Boys is doing stuff, as well as other people. True Boys might be going right now, so you guys might want to jump over there. I'll go and check and see if he's on, and we'll catch you next time. See you guys.